Okay, I want to go ahead and get started. Again, thank you everybody for coming out today and attending the webinar today. If you have any questions or concerns during the webinar or after, I'll leave my contact details at the end of the webinar. Plus, you also should have received the email with the instructions to get in. So you can always email me too, as well as just give me a call. So if you have any questions, definitely let me know. Let me first go ahead and record the meeting so we can make sure to send that out to everybody afterwards. Okay, so first we got to read the disclaimer, just like always. It's just the boring part, and then we'll get through it and move on. The demonstration today is designed to instruct you on using MetaStock and accompanying software plugins, and is not a recommendation to buy or sell, but rather guidelines to interpreting and using the specific indicators and features within the software. The information, software, and techniques presented today should only be used by investors who are aware of the risk inherent in trading. MetaStock shall have no liability for any investment decisions based on the use of their software, any trading strategies, or any information provided in connection with the company. So today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the ETS trading system, how to really time your trades, what trends to be looking at, how to identify those trends. This is just kind of background real quick on this plugin. It's always been one of my favorite plugins as far as out of all of our library plugins, this one I like the most. It's the easiest to understand and use. It's got a great commentary window. It has a complete full trading system with templates. It's got the explorations for both buy and sell, searching and signals, as well as backtest, and it's got an optimization backtest as well as just a standard backtest. So I actually really like this plugin. It's very complete. Not to say that the other ones are not good, but it's just as far as the way that I like to trade and look at trends and identify positions, I really like this one just because of everything that comes with it. Which, of course, those that have the ETS trading system are well aware of this. Those that don't, I'll do my best to really give you a good overview and how I like to use the software. So it was created by a person by the name of Michael Murmer. Not everybody knows who he is, but he had a website or a company that he ran for the longest time called Trader Software. I don't think it is still actually up and active as a website, but he doesn't do as much support as he used to for the plugin. We actually house all the support here now. You know, every once in a while if we have to contact him, then we will, but for the most part, it's pretty easy to get your questions answered through our support team, or you can always call me too as well. But just like I mentioned, at that same time, he also created the company Trader Software as well. And it's kind of interesting, this Michael actually, he's done quite a few interviews with different futures trading magazines and stock trading magazines as well. So I was kind of doing a little bit of research last night when I was preparing for the presentation today. But very, very intelligent. He does a very good job explaining like how he's created this system and identifying the trends and what really works well with any type of trading style. And that's what I really like about this system, because you can use it in any type of market. I've got customers that use it in Forex. I've got a lot of customers that use it with options, of course equities. He originally created it for futures and commodities because that's what he traded for the longest time. So, and he looked at a lot of Fibonacci levels, moving averages, your standard indicators, looking at oscillators and stochastics and things like that as well. So, as I said here, kind of towards the bottom, it's very easy to use. It's a very nice, complete trend following type of system. So, as I mentioned, it comes with your expert advisor, buy and sell signals. You've got two types of market scanning for buy and sells as well. It comes with 3 templates and 4 backtests. And I've also created a template as well that goes along with it. Kind of the biggest thing I always like to use with any type of trading system or plugin, and this is what I always suggest to my customers as well, I don't ever rely on just one trading system or one trading style, because I don't like putting all my confidence in just that one system. I want to use that as possibly my main system, but then also have an additional system to confirm that. Now, that's not to say that I'm telling you that you need to buy 4 or 5 plugins because that's how you're going to be successful. That's not the case. Something that you may have already been using, and you buy the ETS trading system to use that as a confirmation, or just compile it together with what you're already using. I use another system that's actually built into MetaStock already, and then I like using the ETS trading system as my confirmation signals, as well as, sometimes the ETS will get me in earlier than my trading system. So I'll kind of show you that here today as well. So since this is more of a trend following type of system, I always like to put out there, what is a trend? Not everybody really understands charting analysis. If you've been trading for a while or been charting or doing technical analysis for a while, we all understand what that is. But if you're new to the market, you don't always know. So I kind of just grabbed this directly from Investopedia. And this is really a good way of understanding the ETS trading system as well, because it is a trend following system. But I just kind of put it up here. I'm not going to read the whole thing to you. I'll leave it up here for a second while I'm talking. But I really like this type of definition, and that's really what I rely on are the trends. And we all do for the markets, when we're trading. It doesn't matter what position or what type of market that we trade. You're going to need to follow and identify the different trends, when it's up, when it's down, and that's really what I like about this system. So. And then the other thing I was going to say, if you want to have a copy of the PowerPoint that I created, I'm more than happy to send it to you. That's not a problem at all. But so as I was kind of mentioning, this is one of my favorite add-ons and indicators. I mean, there's just thousands and thousands of different ways you can trade the market, different methodologies, trading styles, time frames. If you're doing real time or if you're doing end of day, that's kind of what we all look at. We're trying to find the best possible trading system, or as close as we can really get to the Holy Grail, and that's what we're all about. Making the most money and taking advantage of those big moves or big wins, and making sure we minimize our losses. So, and that's really the big thing here. It can be really hard to know which one to use. While you investigate to find out which one's going to be a good fit for your trading style, maybe your long-term position, real-time day trader. So it's always really good to have multiple indicators, kind of like how I mentioned. I'm using ETS, and I'm also using a system that's already built into MetaStock to confirm my positions and make sure that I'm getting in at the right time. I'm going to tell you, I'm not 100% perfect, because there is not a perfect system out there. But you really want to make sure that you're doing that to have, your main type of indicator, main type of trading system, and then also confirming it with additional indicators. So that's, it's really what I like to rely on, and I never rely on just one single system and one type of signal to get in and out of my trades. So I really want to make sure that they kind of agree with each other, kind of how I said right here. Getting the agreement from several systems can boost your confidence in all your positions in your trading as well, give you more kind of clarity where you should be entering and exiting. So, and that's why I really use the program, or the ETS trading system. So I want to actually open up MetaStock now. So let me end the PowerPoint here and get MetaStock open. Okay. Can everybody see MetaStock now? Okay, good. Perfect. Okay, so for those that don't use MetaStock or have not used MetaStock, when you open the software for the first time, the way that it is going to look is like this. So this is what we call the Power Console. For those that have MetaStock and use it, this is going to be the boring part, and I apologize. So for opening your charts or running scans or anything like that, backtest, it's all done through this Power Console. So what I did before the webinar is I actually ran a couple scans on the market, find out which symbols or securities are going to work best with the ETS trading system. And then I've set up an additional template, which I said I would share with you, and it'll work as long as you've got the plugin. So let's just open up a couple charts really quick. The way you can do that is just typing in the symbols if you know them. If you don't, you can always use the symbol lookup as well. You can open up multiple symbols at once, like I'm doing right here. You just put a space between each one. Okay, so let's just open up those three, and then I just hit enter on my keyboard. Go to the next screen. I can load default records, which is only 250, meaning I'm loading a year of data. Or you can load max, or choose your date and time that you want. I'm going to load 5 years of data, because it's what I always like to look at. And then so you just come down here and click on Open Chart. Sorry, I'm getting these error messages so that I had to do a bug fix on my MetaStock program. So let me change these over to daily. So this is what I've set as my default template, just standard chart with candlesticks on there, and then from there I can go through and apply the ETS trading system to my charts. So if you, again, like I said, this is kind of the boring review part for everybody else that uses MetaStock. For changing your type of charting style, if I want to change it from line to candlesticks, bars, whatever, you just double click on any of the, basically anywhere on this line chart, and it'll open up this properties box. I always use candlesticks. I just like it more for identifying trends and things like that. So I'm just going to put these all back on daily charts. Okay. Let's do side by side. So when I go to apply the ETS trading system, I can do it kind of two ways. It's got a template, like I mentioned, that's built into it. So I can just right click on the chart, choose apply template, and then we go down here to the ETS trading method. Sorry. There it is. So you've got two of them. You've got one with optimization indicators, and then you've just got your standard ETS trading system. I just like to use the standard one. Haven't really seen much of a difference between that and the optimization indicators, so I just use the standard one here. You can just double click it or just select it once and choose apply, and then it applies it to your chart. So this is his moving average that he's created. I've kind of gotten as close as I possibly can to find out what it is, but it's a crossover stochastic, little bit of calculation of Fibonacci's that he's got in there as well, and then your standard moving average settings. I don't know if it's 100-day or 50 or 12 or 15, whatever it is that he uses. It is password protected. So as you can see, you've got your ETS buy and sell signals on here. Now the big thing that I really like about ETS, I'm gonna kind of I'm just gonna kind of go back and re-explain that. When I'm looking at the system, I really like the commentary window, and so the way that you apply that, you right-click, choose Expert Advisor, and go to Commentary. And then it opens this up. So anytime that I've got a buy or sell alert, this window will automatically refresh. You've got your trend down here if you're bullish or bearish. This is also your kind of volume oscillator as well. He calls it the ETS Trend Watch, which really identifies your overall trend. If you're going to be in a buy or if you're going to be in a sell position, that's really what he's looking at right here. A lot of the times, just to make it easier for me, because I like to have my volume here at the bottom, I'll just drag and drop this and stick it on the top. Easier for me to follow, so I don't have to worry about whoops, excuse me, did that wrong. There we go. Okay, so and then I just kind of make this a little smaller, just easier for me to identify that. And then I like to stick volume down here. So this is the other indicators that I like to use. Again, this is just a template that I've created, and this is what I like to use. So just go down and do volume, drag and drop it on the chart. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I also use an oscillator, and I use a couple of MACDs as well. There's two types of MACD that I use. I use the standard one that comes with MetaStock, but then there's also a custom one that allows you to change the three different fields. So your signal line, then your two moving averages. So let me just plot the normal one on there right now. And I'm just going to leave it as the default. Change this one to, we'll just keep that one as red. We'll display new scale on left. And then I've got the other one. It's just, again, called the custom MACD. Just find it. Sorry about that. I'm trying to find it. There it is. Okay, again, drag, drop on the chart. So here I can actually change my first and second moving averages and my signal line. I'm going to leave it as kind of the market standard. A lot of people like to change these around. I'm just going to leave it as the default. Again, this is a custom formula. If you are a custom indicator that we've created, if you want it, definitely just send me a quick email. I'll copy and paste the formula, and you can just stick it in your program as well. So go over here, and we'll change this to purple. Make it a little thicker for you. Okay, and then I kind of zoom in this way. So this is your standard template. What the nice thing is as I mentioned, you've got your buy and sell alerts on the chart, but then I can also reconfirm these with my different indicators. As I mentioned, I'm not going to just rely on the ETS buy and sell signals. I'm more relying on my indicators as well as the confirmation signals from the ETS. So this actually would not have been a bad trade to get in right here. Actually, you know, that signal would have been pretty decent as far as getting in the market at that point in time. And this is just a daily chart, just so I can kind of keep things simple in the beginning here. But yeah, so basically what I'm looking at here, it's like, okay, well, I've gotten my ETS buy signal. Let me confirm my other indicators. I've already got them that are crossing above, or you know, if I was in a sell position below. So I know that the ETS, the actual moving average right here, it's actually crossed through my indicators, broken that area. So I know that this is actually going to be a pretty decent trade. But what's really, really nice, if let's say I get into that trade, excuse me. Okay, so let's say I get into that trade. What I really want to know is, okay, where are my protective stops? Where should I set my stops? Where's my initial profit target? So that's kind of where it is right here. You know, this is where it sets everything, is the commentary window. And that's really my power tool, because I want to see that in order to make sure that I'm confirming those positions. Now this is the Dow indicator, or sorry, the Dow index. So, you know, not everybody trades it unless they're looking at like the Dow futures and things like that. So let's say I want to save this as my default template, or I want to create it as a template. If I want to set it as my default, we'll just go ahead and right click, choose Save as Default Template, Replace Existing, yes. So now if I go back and open up another symbol, let's say, oh, Amazon. And we'll just reload it, and then the ETS is now my default template, so I can use that with any chart. I can also just save this as a default, but then also create my own template, which I already did, and I did it down, or I can again right click, apply template, and then you just go, I named it Dave's ETS template to open that up. And this is the one that I like. I've got my two MACDs, the ETS moving average, I've got an oscillator, and then I left the ETS trend watch down here, and I'll just leave it there for this particular one. So those are the two types of templates that I use. I'm using the Petre, was it the last chart I was looking at, or the current one that I have up now? So this one is what we're talking about? Okay. So when I was looking at it right here on the green buy, ETS buy, that's, you know, your entry for your sell position. That's not a, you know, an entry or anything like that. So that's actually when it would buy, when you would put in your buy, if I was trading, you know, if you would actually trade the Dow index itself. But that's what you're looking at. Once you actually get that signal, you're paying more attention to the commentary window, because I want to know where my stops need to be set at, my protective stops, you know, my long. If I want to maybe, you know, be a little more aggressive, I can definitely take an extended profit as well. But what's nice, I was just about to say this, if you don't want to have the commentary window open, you can actually right click on the chart and do Expert Advisor. Yeah, for this particular one, Patrick, you know, this is just the Dow index. I mean, it doesn't necessarily, it's, again, not going to be perfect, but I always like to pull up the Dow just because everybody likes to see it. You know, if we go actually over to, you know, Amazon, for example, it does a little bit better job as far as that goes. I mean, it's looking at your oscillators, you're taking a look at your moving averages and things like that. Again, this isn't 100% what I rely on, but I like to use this one as kind of my confirmation signal. And I'll show you the other system that I look at here in just a second. So what I was going to say is, as far as the ETS trading system, I want to actually have my protective stops, my initial profit target on the chart. And if I want to do that, you just right click, do export properties, hit cancel. Where did it go? Okay, I'm sorry. I have a different computer. Or sorry, I'm on a different computer than my work computer, and the properties box is actually on my other monitor. So I apologize for that. But basically, it allows you to actually have the commentary window closed, and then it'll actually plot right here on the chart, you know, your protective stop, your initial, your extended profit target, everything like that. So it's actually something that I really like to do a lot, but most times I'll just have the ETS trading system with the buy and sell alerts, and then have the commentary window open as well. Someone just asked or said that the tradersoftware.com site is actually off, and that's true. Michael Murmer had some health issues a few years back, so that's why it is down. Actually, I just remembered that, so I apologize for giving you bad information there. Excuse me. So again, this is the template that I like to use with the ETS trading method. Now the other one that I like, and I'm going to open up the same chart with with my system. So we'll do window, new window. On this one. So now we have two of the same system open, or two of the same chart open. So on one of them, I'm going to apply the ETS trading system. I'll just apply my template. Okay. And then on the other one, there's one that's actually included in MetaStock that I like to use, and it's called the Turtle Trader method. And this is what I use as both my main system, and then I can also use it as a confirmation. So comparing the two is what I really like to use in order when I get in and out of the trade. So I can, you know, obviously grab as much as I possibly can off each individual trade. So we'll just click on MS11 Turtle Trader Hybrid, click Attach, and then Close. Then once I've got that up, there's actually a couple indicators that I use with it. One of them, they actually have what's called the Turtle Trader bands, which again, this is a trend following system, so I like it because I can really compare it between the two of them. So just drag and drop. We're in a long position at this point in time with the Turtle Trader method, so I'm just going to leave it as a number 1. If we were in a short position, we'd change it to 2. But I just want to change the indicators itself real quick for you. Now the one thing that I actually really like, I don't know if you're aware that you can do this, I can create a template and have 2 charts actually on that template. So if I wanted to just always have this as my standard template, it would be, I'll actually just use this. So each time I do right click apply template and use Dave's, what I call it is Dave's ETS and Turtle Trader method template, both charts will open up. So I don't have to continually open up a second chart. So this one, again, I really like this system because, as you can tell, you're getting multiple buy and sell alerts. So I can use those once I get my buy, or in this case right now, sell alerts. I'll actually know exactly when to be entering and exiting. And I can use that with the ETS trading system. So if I kind of zoom in on each of these charts, I've just gotten a sell signal, or right here, rather. So I just wanted to also have my commentary window update, and I can switch back and forth between the two. So if I'm on the Turtle Trader method, and it looks like I'm crossing on my indicators. Of course, with the Turtle Trader system, I actually use the similar indicators that I've got on the ETS. I just kind of want to keep that one a little cleaner for you. So when you get a buy or a seller with the Turtle Trader bands, it's going to cross on that candlestick or bar, however you're trading. And so once it's done that, that's your entry for either a buy or a sell alert. So when I have that, it's like, okay, well, let me confirm that with the ETS. What's that one telling me? Okay, well, it's not telling me to get in yet, but I've got my 2 indicators are crossing. You know, I could definitely get into the trade. What I really like to do with the turtle trader method, and it's just a way for me to protect my money, is I always wait for a second signal to come in. That's just me. It's me being conservative. It's not necessarily how you have to trade it. If you were really trading it to its true rules, you know, you'd wait for your 20-bar high and low breakouts, because that's what the turtle trader method is based on. And then it looks at your overall trend. Then you can confirm those signals with the turtle trader bands, and also use the ETS at the same time. Now, of course, your turtle trader method got you in a couple bars earlier than the ETS, but using both of them, it's like, okay, well, I got a sell signal here, or a sell entry. A couple bars later, I got an ETS sell, so I know that that's going to be a decent trade based on how I like to use the two systems together. I got a question that was wondering who supports the ETS trading system. As I mentioned at the beginning of the webinar, we actually support it. If you have questions on it, I can always help out as well. But our support team does help out with supporting that now as well. So that's, again, kind of a short overview of using the Expert Advisor. Now, we can take it to the next level and actually scan based on the ETS trading system. So as I mentioned, he's got 2 scans in here, ETS enter long and enter short. So I can scan both of them at the same time. Just hold down your control key and then choose both the longs and the shorts. So then you just click next. Over here, it's asking you if you want to use the results from your first exploration, which would be the ETS long, and then take those results and scan on the ETS short. I seem to get a lot less results that way, so I always just choose the same list for both. So it's going to use the same list for both longs and shorts. So you just click on OK, and now it wants me to choose my securities that I want to scan on. So for this particular scan, I'm just going to use the S&P 500. So we're just going to use daily data is what we're going to scan on, and that's also another option that's inside of MetaStock. You're going to actually scan on 1 minute, 5, 10, 30, hourly, daily, and we're also adding other time frames as well. So for those that have MetaStock, we'll be able to scan based and kind of customize that really to whatever you want to do. But right now, I'll just do it on daily data. So we'll just click on Start Exploration. And then it'll run through all of those stocks with both the ETS buy and the sell. And then after this is done, what you can do is actually take it to another level and back test on those particular symbols that actually were giving you buy or sell alerts, which I've already done. I just kind of want to show you how walking you through how you're going to use the ETS trading system for those that don't already have it, and if you do end up purchasing it. What was I going to say? So going back to kind of the method itself, I mean, some of you were saying, well, looks like it's missing the big moves, and you had it didn't call the low of the market, it didn't call the high of the market. But yeah, like I was mentioning, it's not a perfect system. There isn't one out there. That's why I kind of said in the beginning, that's why I use these additional indicators. I'm not relying everything just on one system, but I like to use it as a confirmation method. But as well, a lot of the times that one will get me in earlier than my normal turtle trader method. So that's also another way of using the two together to confirm the signals that it's giving me. So it's just running the second scan. That's why it's taking a little longer than it normally would. I'm just waiting for that to be done. And then I'll run a back test on the, I already ran this already, but I just want to kind of show you what it would look like after you're done. Okay, so then you just come over here and click on reports. And, oh no. Okay, hang on just 1 second for me. Yeah, the reports window is showing up on my other monitor. Give me just 1 second really quick and I'll be right back. I just want to fix it really quick because I want to show everybody that. Just 1 minute. Sorry about that, I forgot to share my monitor. Okay, so here we are. My apologies. So this is what it looks like once you've done your exploration or your scan. This one was the long position. And so what I did before the webinar, I actually just took all of these, since they're actually the ones that are giving me alerts. I'll just click on, or I just highlight all of them, or I didn't actually have to do that. I'm just used to doing that because sometimes I'll get hundreds of results, and I only want to save maybe 5 or 10 of them to my list. So I'll just come over here and click on Save List, and then I can just add them into the ETS Trading system. I'm not going to add these because I already have done that. But basically that's how you would do it, and that's what I really like to do once I've ran scans. I want to save those particular lists so I can go back and rescan or backtest on those to find out how well that particular system did in regards to my trading style. So now what I wanted to do is actually kind of show you the backtest. It actually does a pretty good job as far as backtesting the system, because that's always what I like to know. Some of the systems out there, they don't come with backtest, and not necessarily that we don't want to create a backtest for them, but it's just that the person that created them doesn't do any kind of backtesting. Maybe they just don't see a need for it, or they're just not wanting to do any backtesting. The biggest thing that I always look for as far as a backtest is the overall trend, how well it would have done had I just done a bought and held that particular symbol. If I'm actually following the system, am I making more money than if I just had my money on a buy and hold type situation? So that's really what I like to look at. So just come over here. As I mentioned before, excuse me, in the beginning of the webinar, you've got 5 different types of tests. So you can do one with optimizations. You can look at just your reversals, your stops, and your targets. I like to actually just use the system as a whole. So I'll actually just select the ETS Trading System 2.0, and it's actually called 2.1 because they did actually make a little change as far on one of the templates. They added an optimization template. So all of the back tests and the explorations actually still say 2.0, but when you apply it, it'll say 2.1. So it's just kind of funny the way they created it that way. If you have ETS but don't have the 2.1 system, the 2.1 upgrade, you can actually just go directly to the website under your download page and download it again, and it'll install the 0.1 update. So you just click on Next, and then we're going to do all of these stocks that I've added in. There's 13 of them. And then we'll do Next. So as I mentioned, I like to actually look at 5 years of data when I'm running scans and also back tests. I'm going to look at both longs and shorts. And then you can also, if I wanted to, I could really go in and just kind of select certain date ranges if I want to do that instead. But I'll just do this, use the last 1,250 records, which is 5 years. So under here, under the trade options, this is where I can kind of set my, my account, my broker, trade execution. So right here, let's just kind of say that I've got an account of $10,000. I want to actually be trading at any time 15% of my money. I've got different options right here. If I want to select number of units, transaction cost, here I'm just going to choose percent of available equity. I could also run a points only test. That's good for futures and options, sometimes with Forex as well. But under here, a lot of people like to test based on their entry and exits with their broker. So you can base it on commissions instead of transaction cost. So basically that's kind of a good way of doing it. Here, if you wanted to kind of change around your margin requirements, if you want to change those around, you definitely can. I'm just going to leave them at the default. But if you don't want to trade on margins, then you can kind of edit these around. Basically, just changing your long maintenance and your initial target, and then you can actually trade not on margins instead. So we'll just click on OK, do system test, or sorry, start system test. And then it'll run through those 13 stocks for me. I would do the optimization one, and I did do it at my desk before I started the webinar. It just takes a lot longer. and I didn't want us to run out of time waiting for the back test to be done. So once that's done, you just click on View Results. And then you can kind of organize it by, best to worst. So we've got our net profit, you can organize it by net profit. Looks like Citrix Systems did the best out of the 13 stocks that I tested on. Now, if you want to actually kind of dive a little deeper on here, you click on Select It Once, or you can just double click it and click View. And then over here, it just gives you your overall summary of it. What your buy and hold performance would have been, how well you would have done had you just done a bought and held it during the same 5 years as you tested based on the ETS trading methods. So, you made a little bit more money on this particular symbol versus just doing a buy and hold. Then it goes through and kind of breaks it down into a little bit more detail. Your total trades, how many were profitable, how many were losing trades, your longs, your shorts, unprofitable, and then kind of your maximum positions, your short versus your most favorable. Then it also has, your unprofitable timing, your profitable timing. Then it goes into like your accounting part of the test as well. So your total overall trade profit, trade loss, interest credited. Like I said, if I would have tested based on commission, it would have given me how much I spent and those kinds of things. Then you have these 3 different tabs. If you want to actually dive a little deeper and look at each individual order place, or the ones that were considered, ones that were canceled, the ones that were actually executed and at what price, and if it was on the open or if it was on the close. I could also plot this on the chart if I really wanted to. That just gets a little more confusing than what I really am after as far as looking at back tests, so I don't necessarily do that. Over here in the positions, you're really looking everything in on the positive side. So everything to the right is definitely going to be good. If you've got very, very little graphs on the right or moves on the right, it's not necessarily going to be the best system as far as the back test or to use with your particular symbols that you're trading. Now on the equity line, you really kind of want to look for one that is a little more smooth, but this one has a constant continuation uptrend. Last week when I did one of my webinars, I did it on the MACD back test, and it was just so whipside, it would just be impossible for me to follow those entry and exits and excuse me, signals. So, but that's really what I look for. If I'm seeing an overall constant uptrend, I know that this system is definitely going to make me money and it's going to do well. But again, once you actually, what you're looking at as far as a back test and having it on the chart is completely different. So that's basically kind of running as using this as a back test. And then once I've done that, it's like, okay, well, which one of those is going to work best? Well, the one that I'm looking at right now is Citrix Systems. So we can plot that on the chart. I don't want to plot on the chart from this window because then it's going to plot every single order that I placed or that it placed with the back test. So let's just apply and use my template that I have created. So we'll just close that and we'll go ahead and in this folder, since I've already created the list, I can just go directly from here, click Next, and then I'll apply my template, which is Dave's ETS template, and then click on Open Chart. Then it'll open that. Now again, if I want to open back up, keeps going back to 2 minutes, so I'll change it back over to daily. If I wanted to apply or put the turtle trader method side by side, I definitely could. For right now, we'll just kind of take a look at this particular system. So it had your ETS sell signal right here. Before I actually go into that, I want to show you what I was trying to do earlier as far as putting all the signals on the chart instead of having the commentary window open. So if I right click and do Expert Advisor, choose Expert Properties, it asks you for a password, but all you do is just click Cancel. And then you can go over here to Symbols or Alerts. And then I can just click on Check All. And then I could also do that same thing here. If I do it right now, it's going to give me a lot of entry and exit pop-up windows. So it's not, I don't want to have that happen. It's not going to crash the program. I'll just have to keep clicking OK. So, and we're kind of getting close to running out of time. So this is actually, again, like I mentioned, it's nice to have those right here on the chart instead of having the commentary window open. A lot of the times my charts, or I don't have a giant monitor, but for those that do, it might be a little easier. So, and you can have that as a floating window, or you can also have it as connected to the chart like I've got right now. So when I did that scan, I was scanning based on sell signals, and this was one that actually came up within the last few days. When I ran my scan, I actually had a sell alert based on the ETS trading method. So again, when you're looking at this, if you were just using the ETS system, myself, again, I'm going to look at my two MACD indicators. I've got my moving average and my oscillators. Market looks like, if I was actually trading at that point in time, looks like it's actually giving me a pretty decent downtrend as far as that goes. So, this is, again, another kind of confirmation signal using my different indicators that I've created with this particular template. I think I did another one as well while we were just talking. Let me look, hang on just a second. No, I didn't actually end up saving it, so I apologize. But then if I really wanted to do that again and kind of open up the turtle trader method, just 1 second for me. There we go. And then here I can go back and apply the turtle trader method if that's what I want to do. And again, that's just the system that I like to use. It's not necessarily that I'm saying, follow exactly what I'm doing. And well, that's not what I want. Turtle trader method. There we go. That's the one I want. And again, the turtle trader method also has alerts as well. So just go ahead and skip all the remaining. So this one, if you look at them side by side again, kind of see, the turtle trader method and the ETS kind of both match up with this particular system. Turtle trader got in a little bit early, but again, as I had mentioned, just me being a more conservative trader, I always wait for the second signal. Or if I'm using ETS alongside with it, then I can say, okay, well, I just got my first turtle trader signal on this one, looking at my overall breakout. But then a few bars later, I got my ETS sell entry as well. So it would, definitely confirm each other. I would definitely get into that trade if it were me. If, I'm trading during my trading time, and once I look for all these different signals and confirm each other with them, that's when I'm going to pull the trigger and actually get in. So that's kind of how I use the overall system. Again, you can kind of scan based on any market. So let's kind of do a test. I've just been doing it on the US market, but let's actually run it on the ASX stuff too. We have a lot of people that are in Australia, so I wanted to kind of touch on that a little bit as well. So there's one that, a couple ways that you can do it. I mean, you can scan on the entire market in Australia. There's quite a few symbols. They've got two main stock exchanges over there, so I'm not going to run it on all of them. We'll just kind of choose a few of them to run scans on. So let's just run it on, we'll do longs and shorts again, and then we'll do next, use the same list for each one, and then let's just go down and select, let's just do a handful of these. I'm not going to do every single one of them. And I may not get any, but I might, obviously, I'm looking for which ones are going to work the best with this particular system. Excuse me. Okay. Go next, and then we'll start exploration. We're going to use daily data again. Okay, so again, like I mentioned, I may not get any results on these particular symbols that I'm looking at. Yeah, it didn't look like I did. Let me actually widen the scan. Hang on just a minute. Just kind of uncheck last handful of them. Okay, let's run on that. It'll take it a. Oh, let me go over here. Yes. Okay, here we go. So let me just run the scan based on the ASX. Like I mentioned, we have a lot of customers that are over in the Australia region, but it's always nice to know, okay, well, this system, was it purely programmed for US markets, or does it work with all? And as I mentioned kind of at the beginning of the webinar, it does actually work with every single market out there. Like I had mentioned, I've got a lot of customers that use it with Forex as well. So it definitely is very versatile as far as that goes. For running your scans, you can continue to open up your different charts. So if I wanted to actually go, there was one particularly that I wanted to show. One of my customers asked me to, and I think it's called ALS, or yeah, that's it. Okay. And then we'll click on open chart. If there is a specific symbol that you guys want me to look at, as far as with the ETS system, I'm more than happy to do that. Hang on just a second. I keep running into the problem where it's not saving all of my settings. Okay. So this particular system, once I get done with the scan, just move this to the side here so everybody can still see it. Yeah, this one actually didn't do too bad as we kind of look at this particular symbol. Let me pop open the Turtle Trader method again. I'm just going to use the system itself. I'm not going to change around any of the indicators for right now, just because we're kind of running out of time. Let me close out Citrix really quick. Okay. So, I mean, the thing is I guess there were a couple of people that were telling me, ETS is more of a trend following system, whereas Turtle Trader method is a breakout system, and that's 100% true. I'm just telling you how I trade, and what I like to use is I compare the two with each other. I'm not necessarily saying this is the only way that you can use it, but there are a lot of other systems that you could compare it to inside of MetaStock, and that's kind of what I mean by, or when I said that. But let's say you're like, well, I don't really like the Turtle Trader method. Let's take a look and see how well my MACD indicator did with that. So you can do the same thing. Just go back here over to the Equus MACD, attach, close. And you could definitely use this as well. Maybe you want to use more of the MACD system, looking at overbought, oversold conditions as well. So you could definitely do that at the same time, and then also comparing it with any indicator that you want to use, but along with that, using the ETS trading system as well. So it's really kind of the gist of the program, and I'm waiting for that exploration to be done, but we're running out of time, so I'm going to actually close it. But again, I'm more than happy to kind of show you some additional features in the software itself. Again, if you don't have MetaStock and if you're just kind of looking for a good trading system or charting analysis package, it's one of the best ones out there. But for those that have MetaStock and would be interested in trying out the ETS trading system, let me actually close out MetaStock really quick and finish my PowerPoint. Okay, so right now, for those that are customers of ours, you probably have seen our holiday catalog. So for right now, the ETS system is usually $299, but you're getting $100 off right now, and that's good through the end of the year. It does go out on a 30-day money-back guarantee. It's downloadable, so you do not have to pay for any kind of shipping. Really good for people that are international. So if that is something of interest, you can always email me, or you can always give me a call as well. You don't have to have the current version of MetaStock to run that. Unlike some of the other plugins, you do have to have 13. So if you have an older version, it's compatible with version 10 and above. So you can definitely use it with any version 10 and up. And then obviously you have my contact details. So if you do run into any questions, problems, concerns on anything, you can always give me a call. So that particular scan just ended. So I'm going to actually open MetaStock back up and see what we came up with. So out of the ASX ones, we've got a few minutes left. You actually have few of them that will work that gave us long entries. So if I open that up on my chart, I've got my default template set already, so I can definitely take a look at that one. This one seems a little sporadic though, as far as the volume on it and the trend itself. So let me go back and take a look at those other two that I had. Let's try this one. No, it's a little better. Okay. Okay, so this one particularly, if you were using this as far as the trading method on the ETS, and then again you could confirm it with the turtle trader method. But let's say that's where I initially got my buy signal as far as the ETS. Again, it's nice because it actually shows you, okay, this is where your protective stop needs to be, your initial profit target, and extended profit target. And you don't have to necessarily have all those on the chart if you don't want to. You can just use the commentary window, which is what I like. So just kind of showing you, it does actually work with all markets. Let's try a Forex pair, for example. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, I'm just striking out today. I can open that back up, but at any rate, if you do want to order that or have questions on it, concerns on anything, if you have the ETS trading system and may want to use it with your MetaStock program and want to try it, then let me know. Definitely more than happy to help you. I just want to open this back up because I want to show that it also works with Forex. Possibly might have some Forex traders here, so let me just pull that open as well. Okay. Okay, there we go. The euro US dollar. Alright, perfect. So I'm actually going to change this back to, let's look at it on an hourly chart instead of a daily, or instead of a 2-minute is what I had it at. So let me take off some of my indicators. This actually does not do too bad of a job as far as that goes. There, now it's a little clearer. So again, you've got your sell signal, plus you've got your initial short target. So if you want to actually, again, pull open the commentary window, just apply that to the chart. And we're going to apply it right there. There we go. Okay. So again, looking at the overall trend, if you're just using the ETS, I'm not going to open up the turtle trader method because we're kind of running out of time. It does work with trending markets as well as high volatility markets, just like Forex. So, but anyway, just kind of want to stress that it isn't a perfect system, but it is actually one that I really like because it's very complete. And it does help me identify my trends, plus using that in combination with the turtle trader method, it definitely does help as far as that goes. So, it's just another easy, simple system to use. If it is something of interest that you want to try it out, definitely let me know. It does go out on a 30-day money-back guarantee. Hopefully I'll be able to kind of show you everything that's, as much as I could in the software. But if you have more questions, and maybe you're a current user and have questions about it, then just let me know. I'll be more than happy to help. Okay. Well, thank you so much for everybody attending today. And like I said, if you do have any questions, then just let me know. I'm happy to explain them in a little more detail. Thanks again, and hope you enjoyed the webinar. I will be sending out the recording as well. So most likely tomorrow, but again, if you've got questions, then just let me know. Thanks again for coming out today and taking the time to listen to the webinar, and look forward to hearing from you if there are any questions. Thanks so much.